Hey Garth Gang, and here we are with a Path of Exile video. I haven't done one in a few days because I've just not been feeling very well IRL. I'm going to give you an update on this character here, which is the Cold-Conv-Dex-Stack-Heiro-Totem build. And we're going to go through everything, but first of all I'll give you an update of what I've been doing in PoE. So I've been farming Jun, mainly looking for Ailing, Vorchi in research at level 3/4 when we kill Katrina, and then having Hillock in the fortification for the 30% armor. Anything else that comes along I generally use for myself because it generally doesn't sell very well on TFT, and that's the idea. I still have hopes in 3.19 of lab running. I'm about 30 odd vouchers off of my rep on TFT to do lab running. I might be able to get there. So that's that. I made some currency. I've been selling my crafts with the blessings of the mod team on TFT for very cheap to try and get my vouchers quicker so I can then start lab running. That's a side note. Let's look at this character. So this character has been built as a glass cannon. We've got max res, ridiculously low chaos res, which is why I'm dying in maps so much. There are tankier versions of this build out there on PoE Ninja. A few content creators have done other YouTube videos, but this is very much a glass cannon build. It can do the non-Uber bosses with some more investment and some tankiness. You can do the Uber bosses. There are plenty of evidence out there. A lot of the PoE Ninja people are using this build as a pure bossing build, because once you invest in here heavily and get all the increased dexterity implicits, you're well away. So that's that disclaimer out of the way. This is a low budget glass cannon version. So let's go through everything. So a lot of the PoE Ninja builds are using brisk wrap chest, which is the chest with the increased dex on it. I think I've got one. There we go. Because it's got the 15% increased dex on there and 5% increased movement with some resists and mana stuff, and you know that most of them are using this. I have chosen to use Hiri's Bite. No one was interested in my Vorchi or my Hillock when I got sold one, so I decided to use it on my Hiri's Leather. Got very lucky, got 5 white sockets and obviously the 30%. So I'm using this because of the damage spell, and it's still got a nice 46 dex on there, and it does way more damage than brisk wrap according to paper POB. We've got a implicit corrupted Hiri's Demise with more attributes. I tried getting an almost max rolled one with a good implicit, but it was outside my budget range at the time. We've got our Fractal Thoughts with an incorrect enchant on there, but this enchant came for free. So, and in here we are rocking Hatred, Precision, Skitterbots, and our Enlighten. We're whacking a Iron Commander, quite a badly rolled one, but it was quite cheap and I haven't bothered to invest it anymore. And in here we've got our Inspiration, increased crit damage, elemental damage with attacks, Siege Ballista, Awakened added Coal level 3 20%, and Awakened Cold Pen level 2 20%. We go to our Astramentis, which is the standard amulet for these builds until you can invest in an increased dexterity double +2 amulet with lots of other stuff on there. But this one does for me. It's got the sovereignty on there as well. We've got an okay-ish ring, but no dex. Again, an okay-ish ring, but no dex, so I'm losing dex there. I've got a dex implicit belt, which I got from trade, and then I don't know who. I think it came like this. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Sorry. With the attribute modifier on there as well for even more dex. I've got these gloves, and these gloves really do need replacing. It's got Dex on there and some okay-ish res rolls. Other than that, they're quite poor. I just rolled the implicits until I got something interesting. So we've got the cold exposure, and we've also got the extinguish on there as well, which it seems to work. Boots wise, I've gone for the very good cheap Gurrican's Flight, and the reason for that is because you're then immune to burning ground, shocked ground and chilled ground, which is cool. You also got the +2 max life per 10 dexterity and regen life per 10 seconds, but this does mean you are losing out on opportunities for res, which is what this build is lacking. But then if you go for a rare pair of boots for the resists, you're probably going to have to pay a lot more because you'll need the movement speed, the dex roll, resists, life, and then you'll have to deal with burning ground, shock ground and chilled ground. So options are there. The weapons, I'm just leveling gems I want for my gem collection. Flasks, we've got a cautious eternal life flask of laying. We've rolled experimenter's quicksilver of the cheetah. I think I've actually brought that from trade. Sinner's quartz of the deer, which is gaining 5 charges and the immunity to freeze and chill. Immunity to poison, gain 6 charges when you're hit, and 7 charges with immune to ignite, because I kept on dying from ignite, and then I realised I didn't have any ignite stuff, so I brought that from trade as well. The 3 utility flasks have used charges when full, which is the standard, and the quicksilver I placed a 41 max charge on. I'm not sure why. I think I was going for increased duration, I don't know. So that's the gear. Gem wise, in our chest we've got Frostbite, Frost Bomb, Cold Strike, Cast on Crit and Greater Multiple Proj. Now a lot of people then throw Frenzy in this, but I like to do damage myself, so I've gone for Lightning Arrow, just so I'm doing damage. I don't like builds where I personally am not doing damage. In the boots we then have our Frenzy, Greater Proj, Sniper's Mark and Cast on Crit. So the idea is we walk into or run into a pack, drop our totems, hit Frenzy and then spam Lightning Strike until everything's dead. Pretty much the same for bosses and rare targets. Drop all the totems, get the 3 Frenzy charges and then spam Lightning Arrow whilst running around like a nutter. In our gloves, I've chosen Frostblink because Frostblink, in my opinion, is a great spell to have, great move spell. Unlike Dash, you don't have that bit where you actually go through things, and unlike Flame Dash, which I find annoying because it's got 3 charges, but it doesn't have 3 charges because if you spam one, you then got a small cooldown before you can use it again, and I just find that irritating and micromanaging. So I just use Frostblink. If you hit the boss or a group of rare mobs, the cooldown recovery is almost instantaneous. Sorry, my rhinitis is playing up again. I've got a very itchy eye. Let me just get some apologies, I still haven't learnt to edit videos. There we go, that's better. So we've got Frostblink, and then we've got a cast when damage taken, Molten Shell, increased duration. 2 reasons I've gone for cast when damage taken setup. 1, due to medical conditions, I cannot have anything on left click. I don't even use left click for movement. I use my keyboard. As you can see here, I've got D as my movement, so my left hand arm is doing all the button pressing, and I'm just using the mouse for direction and picking up loot. Ideally, I wouldn't even use the mouse to pick up loot because it's very painful, but there is no other option to pick up loot, so there's that. That's the gems and the gear. Let's go on to how I've done the tree. Ascendancies. I went for Mana Regeneration, Pursuit of Faith, then Conviction of Power, then Ritual of Awakening. And because the other nodes in Hierophant give you absolutely nothing for our build, we take the two smaller nodes on Uberlab of Mana Regeneration, Arcane Surge, and Mana Regeneration Max Mana. Now you could link your travel skill to an arcane level 1 Arcane Surge, and then you'd get spell damage, but we're not using any spells, so that's a bit pointless. I would suggest, if you're leveling this character, to get Pursuit of Faith, then Ritual of Awakening, then Conviction of Power, and then the last two smaller nodes at the end. Tree wise, again, there's a lot of different versions of this tree in PoE Ninja. It depends whether you're going to go for a cluster jewel setup, double cluster jewels, or whether, like me, you're just going to go for a pure tree. I like to say the tree also differs if you're using the new jewel, where you can get points without being connected to the tree, whether you use a timeless jewel down here, a thread of hope, sorry, down here, instead of a timeless jewel to pick up nodes. What's the other? Oh, and whether you're using for forbidden flame jewels. I've seen that on a couple of builds on PoE Ninja. But for me, I have based my tree on mostly the build from Aero, which is AER 0__. He put a VR out back, and I've based most of mine on that with a few amendments. So we come out here to save points. Around here, I went straight up for Sanctity, Discipline, Training, and Precision to get the Dex. I then came down here and immediately picked up, put my Fluid Motion in there. I brought one from trade with a max roll implicit, and then Harvest crafted the implicit, and I read it wrong. I thought that was increased effect of aura skills. It's not, as you can see, it's area of effect, which is completely pointless. I then came through here, picked up Constitution and 50 life, come through here, picked up this for res, and threw in my Corrupted Blood Jewel. I've got this from trade with the cold multi, reduced effect curses and attributes. Picked up Mage Bane, that immediately suppressed Capsize once we deck stack everything else. No soda this time, pure water. I came down here, whacked in my Rain of Splinters, which again I got from trade. I was trying to get a perfect one, but they're very expensive. I then come through here. My tree has undergone a lot of changes, so I've done a lot of respecs, but Heart of Oak, and then we came through here, not because of the spell suppress chance, but because of the movement speed, and also this node is giving me proj damage from my Bala Brutal Restraint gem. Now, to save points, some people come along here and pick up this Dex node. However, with the same number of points, if you take this node, depending on whether you're putting a Brutal Restraint here or a Thread of Hope, if you're putting the Brutal Restraint, then it all depends what you get on the nodes. But I got a really nice node there, so I put the point from here, which means I lose 12 Dex. But by putting it here, the travel node for my split personality has to travel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extra nodes. So you put a split personality down here, which gives us +5 Dex for each node it's got to travel. So that's +5. So that actually gives us 25. So it's an actual 13 more Dex and more max life, which is why we went across here. We've then picked up Intuition, which is got a very lucky physical damage extra cold. We've picked up these nodes for attack damage and come up here for even more Dex, attack damage and movement speed, and crit chance. We pick up the Herbalism Rifle, come down here and get Watchtowers with critical chance if you summon a totem recently. I then came down here, got the attribute wheel and picked up 5% increased attributes. Some people pick up the +5 dex per allocated mastery and then stack their tree with masteries. Again, it's a different way of doing it. Came down here for Fangs of Frost and Fizz converted cold damage. I decided to pick up Point Blank because the totems generally are in the boss's face, so you get more damage. Obviously we then come up here for Split Personality. Now I've seen some people take Savagery to get +1 max frenzy charges, so they're stacking 4 frenzy charges. I decided not to. Come along here and picked up Golem's Blood and 10% max life with 10% reduced life recovery rate. We also pick up Iron Reflexes, so we're armor stacking and not evasion stacking. We come around the totem wheel here all the way to Panopticon. And skills that will summon a totem have 30% chance to summon 2 totems instead. Now I took off Ironwood and the small travel node there and put them into this life wheel here, but I was then finding that my totems were dying ridiculously fast, so I dropped those 2 points and put them back in, and now it's all good. This is a respec point, so I've changed, like I said, I've changed the tree, so I've got more life here. I've then come up, got my Timeless Jewel node, come around here for Master Fletcher. Some people take this wheel, or whack a Thread of Hope in here and get both of these nodes, and I'm not sure if Forces of Nature is in, but yeah, they take other nodes that are within the circle. That they take Quick Step, I think. They take Quick Step. I'm not sure what size Thread of Hope they use. I haven't got that option, as you can see. Up round here for Fangs of Forces of Nature, you could take Revenge of the Hunted, based in mind this is all armor, so it'd be 10% increased armor, 10% increased armor, and then 18% increased armor plus the life. So there's 5, 10, and 10. There's 20% max life. So again, that is an option. We come along here, and then this would be your second split personality. I am currently using a Brawn. My long-term goal was to try and get this character to level 100 and pick up another dual socket, possibly here, and then put in a medium cluster down here, and then put the Brawn in that medium cluster, and then put the split personality here. But as you can see, I've got a bit of a stuck position at the moment with my progress. So that's the tree. I'm not sure how I leveled the tree, because like I said, this has undergone 10 or 15 different tree changes based on how I've played it, and looking up different trees. It's also based on how much currency I have. Some people are playing this with a Mage Blood, some people are playing this with Headhunter. There were a couple that are playing with Replica Hunter, Headhunter, and 2 Inspired Learnings. There are just so many different ways to do this build based on whether you want Glass Cannon, Tanky, Map Clear, Boss DPS, whether you're using a Thread of Hope, a Timeless Jewel, etc, etc. But this is the version I'm running, and like I said, it does okay in maps. Now the reason for mentioning all the currency I earned from Jun was that I was then able to pay for, I think it was about 80C for the Maven's Writ, and then I went on to TFT and paid 50C for a boss carry. That gave me my Maven Voidstone here, and then because I provided the map to the bosser, I was able to loot, and I got a Woke Gem. I slapped it with 20% quality, sold it for an X, got that X, and used that to get my Uber Elder carry. So I've now got all 4 Watchstones. I've since then got another favoritized map, so I've just got 4 left. And so I'm now T16 farming. So I spent quite a lot of chaos, and I brought a ton of Metamorph and Blight Scarabs. I think they're in here somewhere. Yeah, so I brought 400 of each because I had visions of me running a ton of maps. brought a stack of overgrown shrine maps because I want to run Toxic Sewer, and overgrown shrine are cheaper, with Toxic Sewer being a neighbouring map. I was hoping for a lot of drops. I haven't had a lot of drops, so that's a bit worrying. I then also had to buy a ton of orbs of unmaking and regret orbs to redo my Atlas tree, which now looks like this. So we've got Jun here, we've got Jun over here. I've taken Wellspring of Creation. It hasn't helped, I'm still dying to one-shots. This is an odd node, this needs to be removed, but as you can see I'm out of Orbs of Regret, out of Orbs of Unmaking. I refuse to spend any more Chaos on them from trade. We've blocked everything but Metamorph and Blight. Everything else is blocked off. We've got strong boxes and essences here. We've got essences here. We've taken Organ Donor for Metamorph. We've taken Epidemiology for Blight. We've got essences up here. We've taken the Tamper-Proof and Secret Operations nodes. We've then done most of the centre circle of the Outrind and the 3 in the middle with more essences. And then I've come up here and picked up Blight Spawn and Fine Specimens. And then we've kind of gone around the top a bit to pick up all the implicit modifiers and got Spores on the Wind. Excuse me. And then we've come down and got Intelligence Gathering to help us farm Katarina quicker. And finally we've come all the way down to get Test of Loyalty, which is the when you execute syndicate members they gain 2 ranks, which means I can get my ranks up faster, so they're getting into slots quicker. So that's the Atlas tree, that's the passive tree, that's the skill. I will run a T16 map. I'm not running a juiced map because the character will die. As I've said to you before, this character is still in a glass cannon stage. I don't want to run a Toxic Sewer. Let's find Palace. Yep. So this is going to be a white map on my Atlas. We'll still run the Blight and the Metamorph. I'll leave Maven on as well. I'm going to run what's it, a Nico mission, and we'll put Essence on there for 3C. I know Palace is Dominus. I'm probably going to die, and you'll see that in this video. I'm not going to use my Sentinel because my Sentinel is kind of impressive and it makes the enemies so ridiculously overpowered. So go into door, drop all the totems, 1, 2, 3, and then we just spam Lightning Strike. That room's cleared. Go into the next room, drop totems. We've still got some frenzy charges up, so most white mobs will die from the lightning strike, so I don't have to summon our totems, which makes the map clear that a little bit quicker. As long as you've got a couple of totems down in the area and you've got your 3 frenzy charges, you'll generally be alright. I'm going slower than I normally would because at the moment I've got a eye patch on from my eye, which, oh, lovely. Oh, I thought I was out of juice. Oh, I wonder what a waste of a Nico mission. Well, so I'm not going to be as quick as I normally would be, and that's due to my rhinitis medical condition kicking off just before recording the video. But it is quite late at night at this time. Oh, I forgot some of the totems because I'm chatting. There we go. As you can see, it makes a lot of difference not having the totems down. I can summon 14. Because of the Iron Commander bow, you get a set number of totems based on your dex. So the higher dex you get, the more totems you can have, which is why I think a lot of people use Wild Wrap, because then they can get up to 17 or 18 totems in one go. As I'm not doing the Uber bosses and I don't have the tank to get that much up. Ooh, nice. I don't see the point in having even more totems. I would rather... Not only that, I run out of mana. By the time I got to 14, my mana's gone. I do need to make some changes to the build, but that probably won't happen until next week. Other than this video, I'm taking a break from PoE. I've got 115 of 115 completion. I've got all my void stone. There's a few favorited maps I don't have. I kind of feel like I've done with PoE now. It's because I have to really do this, redo this character and make it more tanky so it can do the maps I've rolled, which are semi-juiced. Looking about 60% quant, which for me is juicy. No delirium, but other than that, quite juicy. So I have to completely rebuild this with heavy investment and probably use all my currency, or I have to make a mapping character. And I don't like the idea of that either. We are going to put fire there and lightning there. Juice, yep. Right, the totems there. Shouldn't have done the fire one first. Should have done the I haven't got my rings done for Blight. Got to keep there. Go the totems. So we've got to quickly resummon them. That's why I usually end up dying, because I don't have any totems. It doesn't take very long to summon them, but come on. Right, that's that one done. Now we'll concentrate on getting the fire done. I will admit the Blight doesn't usually go this well. There's a boss. Tanky boss. Totems are down. And that's where I tend to die. As soon as the totems go down for whatever reason, I end up getting a bit stuck, because then I'm out of mana where I'm casting, pretty much constantly casting. God, this thing's. Oh God, look at it. There we go. Cold Strike for the win. Sheesh. More totems down. Ooh. That was hard work. Right, let's see if it paid off. Amber as your opalescent. I don't know what they're worth for. I collect all the oils. Hey! T16 Coral Ruins. Nice. Another opalescent. And finally, not much. I collect all the oils throughout the... I know they're not worth it at a certain point, but I have no idea when I'm going to do a new character, and I may need some oils for an anoint, even if it's just for leveling. So I'd rather have loads of oils than have to buy them from trade, even if it's several clear ones can be a bit of a pain. What's on this one? I don't have any remnants of corruption left. I'm hoping some will drop from these. Yikes! There we go. I love this build. It has been one of my favourite builds. I know I said that about RF in 3.17, and that was a great build to play, but with the change, I would have played it this thing, but with the incorrect statement given by GGG that nothing would change, and then having the rarity of ashes changed on us, I couldn't play that build. So I'm looking for another one, found this one, and I really do love it. I think because it's got a totem style, which I do in my heist playthroughs, I kind of love totems a bit. I just need more tank on this character, but I don't know how to do it. I think it's going to be in the case of dropping some DPS and it's the other problem with this build is totems go down to these massive essence monsters quite quickly. Sometimes I've had it before where I've cracked open an essence with all 14 totems and they get one shot, and then it becomes very difficult to kill them, because as soon as you drop the totems, they're being one shot by the essence mob, which then obviously makes it very difficult to take them down. So the other problem you get if you get a bubble. Luckily that one kept on moving. Generally, it's another reason why I like to use frost blink, because you see there I frost blinked away from that essence mob, but the essence mob was inside the frost blink away, so it instantly reset. It works great for bosses too. Right, I'm expecting to die on this boss. Hopefully I won't, because it's a half-hour long video and that would be annoying. But I just thought I'd let you know I am expecting to die. I need a drink before I take it on. I'll take the eye patch off of this. Let's see how we get. I haven't done this boss on this build. I thought that was bleed. Well, that was easy enough. Has he gone? No, there he goes. Didn't take any damage. This is Maven Witness as well, which I wasn't aware of. Or I didn't remember, either or. Come on. Resummon all totems. There we go. Get the inspiration charges up. 1, 2, 3. There's the frenzy charges. That's it. Bam. So a boss with no phases is quite easy to take out. It's when it's got phases or it starts hitting and killing them totems you have a problem. So yeah, not a bad loot haul, I don't think, really. Just get all this treasure and I'll sum it up. No, it goes in there, excuse me. So, what are my thoughts on the general idea of the build, as in Cold-Conv-Dex-Stack-Heiro-Totems? I love it. It's one of my top 5 builds ever, and it's been around for so many leagues now. I don't think I'll copy a statement given by Pox when they asked Pox about RF. If this build gets bad, I'll possibly still end up playing it anyway as a bosser. It is great for taking out the non-Uber bosses, even great for taking out tanky mat bosses if you've and metamorphs. So if you're running, I didn't do the metamorph, did I? Ha! Let's go and do the metamorph, shall we? See if we can die against the metamorph. Probably will do. I haven't got all the parts. Frostweaver, no, we don't want that. Main thick bleeding, extra cold damage, we'll take that one. Not vampiric. Frostweaver, vampiric. Oh. Take the flammability then. Ooh, div cards or touch of God's easier to handle than lightning orbs. Nope. Proximity shield, yikes. We'll take fire damage, why not? And then we will drop it down. Don't want that. Take it down there. Drop all the totems again. I die quite regularly. Oh, what has it got a proximity shield for? Hate proximity shield on totem. Come on, there it goes. Oh no, back again. This is going to be an annoying mob to deal with if it keeps putting that every can you see that? It's regenerating the proxy shield every couple of seconds. That's be so annoying. Just hope I don't get some sort of one shot from this. Where's it gone? That's just a tanky rare we can kill. Get rid of that. The meta is around here. This is why I don't like metamorphs, because I have no idea what the abilities do, and I'm not spending 20 minutes every time I want to kill a metamorph trying to look it all up. Hey, nicely done. I need to update my filter, obviously. Right, there we go. That wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Was it worth it? Probably not. No, not really. But we did get some more jewelers, and that is a crap ring. So more jewelers. Always like the jewelers. Okay, so again, I love this build. I'm going to do some more research on it. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I need, like I said, I'm going to take a couple of days off PoE. It is Saturday evening in the local time. I'm probably not going to do anything on PoE tomorrow, which is the Sunday. I've got some IRL jobs to catch up on Monday. So probably back on Tuesday. I'm going to reach out to more experienced PoE players and see if they can give me some ideas, or if you've got any ideas. What are your thoughts? Do I change this build to be more tanky so I can map with it but then lose a DPS to boss, or do I build a mapping character for a low budget mapping character? Let me know down in comments. I will copy this character as is into a POB and drop it in the description below. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope to see you in the next one. I will do some more. The next one will be a heist video if you're waiting for more heist content from me. Again, apologies, I've not been in the right frame of mind to anything like that, but there is some new information out there about heist and I will share it in the next video.